to Freeman. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first. Down.
A gain of 4 yards. And the Falcons first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Shay, my 25. Shay, 55 for mine. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Gets it off to Freeman.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Ryan to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught, Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Again, Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
Throwing again, Ryan. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First down and goal to go.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. To throw again is Ryan. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Bud Dupree just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
At the Steelers' 16-yard line.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
You got three down. Watch out. Hey, express.
Here's Ryan. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. They'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Check 26, check 26. 50. Tighten up. Lock it.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Come on, man. Let's go.
17 yards. First down, Steelers.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 6-0 our score after 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he knocks it through.
Makes the score Steelers 7, Falcons 6.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 25-yard line.
Ready, 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
Now it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Falcons on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That's good for Falcons. First down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
59, ready. Right 25. I got it.
Now Ryan on 1st down. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Ryan will throw again. Well, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked up by Steven Nelson. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Brandon, we spent time with this team before the game, and there was never any indication that they did not like their kicker.
Well, it shows right now that they didn't like their kicker. Why didn't they just put it through the goalpost and take the lead?
That is going to be the question that has to be answered. I don't know about you, but I'm skipping my flight. I'm going to the post-game press conference to find out what they were thinking.
Instead of playing conservative, they go through the air, and what a stunning turn of events. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 17-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
54, down. 55. 25.
Throwing again. Ryan. Caught by Jones. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Back 55. Back 50. 21. Come on.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He finds an opening past the 40. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Ready. 280. Check 55 to Mike. Check back. Check back.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Ryan now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Ryan. Jones has it. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Ryan now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's first and 10.
Three down. Hey, check 20. Check. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones in the final seconds of the first half as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go, here we go. Like 80. Rip left, rip left. Check.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Get him. Shit. Snickers.
On first down, Connor, and he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger escaping the pressure right. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
This is Connor, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Blue 30. Mike, 45. Coming to you.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Take both of them.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Ryan down around the goal line. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They're running it. Like 55.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, pick your game up.
Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pickup there. 18 yards. First down, Falcons.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Kill. Hey, wait.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Ryan. Complete to Jones. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On 2nd down, it's Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Ready. Like 25. Got to do better. Check.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Atlanta. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Ryan. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have retaken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Ryan to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
Yeah, that's true. You've said that before. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. Clock
continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. From the gun, Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Bud Dupree and the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's put him on the punches. Let's put that team on the punch.
Roethlisberger will hand the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 32-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Roethlisberger to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Alert.
Now it's Roethlisberger, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
We got quarter. Shoot. Watch the shoot.
One last shot for Roethlisberger. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Boswell for the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the 4th. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.